I think the important part of this, it depends on what you're comparing it to.
Mm.
So here's what I mean by that. So I was in a Facebook group the other day,
Yep.
and somebody said, "Hey, what's the best platform for my social media?" Right?
Mm.
Great question.
That is,
Now,
yeah.
yeah. Now this was a new loan officer group, which is an awesome group, by the way. I can't think of the guy that owns it, but it's a great group, right? It's a great group. Um, so when he said, "Well, what's the best platform?" It was like, all right, well, I think it's important that he knows that of the top producers, top originators, right, the ones that win the awards and make all the money, right, the 15% that makes 90% of the money in the mortgage industry, 78% of them, right, 78% get their business from real estate agents,
Mm.
21.8 get it from past database, 0.2 get it from consumer direct, i.e., social media, right? 0.2, right? And I've said that. It's no breaking. Everybody here knows that, right?
Yeah.
And so, I always try to be cool when I do this because, hey, the dude's looking for help. And I could say, well, you ought to do Instagram because but then I'm helping him get the
Further
zero,
away. Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
0.2%. Again, and it's like, if I was just getting started, hell, I'd want somebody to tell me, hey, dude,
Hmm.
that might not be the best way, right? So, not, because it's not like I go on there, hey, you moron, because he's not a moron. He just doesn't know, right? He
Right.
doesn't know, right? So,
Right.
so I say, hey, you might consider these other things first. Let's get the 78% first. Let's get the 21.8% first,
Mm.
and then we work on the 0.2, right? But anyway, so somebody trying to be helpful, right? Trying to be helpful, say, hey, well, I'm part of the 0.2. It's like, awesome, good for you, man. Somebody is, right? So awesome. You're the guy.
Right.
You're the guy. You're the lady. Awesome.
Hmm.
Good for you. Until I looked up their production, which is so
Mm.
easy to do these days,
Yeah.
right? And this particular one had closed 18 in the last 12 months, or maybe it was 17, which is
Wow.
basically
Wow.
one and a half a
One a
month.
month. Yeah.
Yeah, one and a half. So some months two, some months goose egg, some months one, but less than two.
Right.
Hey, and you know what? Good for him. And it was a guy. Good for him. And I mean that very sincerely. Like congratulations, right? That's a very good start, right? I started at zero. You started like everybody else did, right?
Everybody starts at zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is this person thought that closing one and a half loans a month is good,
Mm.
right? Because it's better than zero. It's a whole
Hmm.
lot better than zero.
Hmm.
So let's say they're making $3,000 per closing. I just made that number up, right? So that'd be what? That'd be 4,500. That'd be 4,500
A
a
month if you
month,
average it. Yeah.
right? And if we do 4,500 times the 12 months, it's 54 grand. Nothing wrong with that. That's a
Hmm.
good income. 54,000. That's school teacher, right?
Right.
Sad but true, right? Uh, uh, a sheriff, cop, right? Fireman,
Right.
right? That's a good living, right? That there's nothing wrong with that. But what he doesn't know is like that doesn't qualify you to clean the bathrooms in our group. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and I don't
Hmm.
mean that in a nasty way. Probably shouldn't have said it like that, but it's like he doesn't know. He doesn't
Hmm.
know what good is because he's comparing it to
His
people that are doing
perspective. Yeah.
zero,
Yeah.
right? And so like you take a gnat, right? A little fly, like a little gnat.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
A gnat could say, dude, I've been around a long time. All right. Well, the average gnat lives about 10 days, right? So his definition of a long time would be 5 days, 6 days.
Right.
Hell,
Right. Yeah.
9 days would be almost a lifetime, right? Whereas to you and I, 9 days is a blink of an eye, not a long time
Hmm.
at all. And
Hmm.
so it just all depends on the perspective that you're looking at, where if you don't know what the unit of measure, what long or big, or you know what it is, man?
What is it?
He doesn't know what's possible.
Mm.
He doesn't
Mm.
know what's possible.
Mm.
Because like you take your boy Caden, right?
Hmm.
Love that story. So
Yeah.
this guy was 5 months in the business, went through your boot camp,
Yeah.
5 months in the business. On the fifth month was closing five loans for the month. So
Mm-hmm.
he did in 1 month, on month 5 in the business, what this other fine gentleman, I'm sure, right? Because he just, again, I'm not making fun of him. He doesn't know. He
Yeah.
just doesn't
Yeah.
know, right? You don't know
Yeah.
what you don't know. And so this one dude, brand new in the business, it closed, you know,
A
a
third of
third
what he did a
of what it
year.
took the other guy 4 months to do,
Mm-hmm.
and likely he's been doing it longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like I just Tara, one of my favorite people on earth. I love
Oh
Tara.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So Tara's messaged me the other day. Hey, I'm closing. I think it was 12. I'm closing 12 for the month,
Yeah.
right? And keep in mind, she just moved there like a year ago, so she
Yeah.
kind of like
Brand new market. Brand new
brand new
market.
market on the
Yeah.
other side of the country,
Yeah.
and she's
Yep.
closing 12 for the month, for the month, almost what this other guy did for the year,
Right.
going through countless leads on social
Mm-hmm.
media. We
Mm-hmm.
know how that is because they're low converting.
Oh
But
right.
again, he just doesn't know. So again, I want to
Yeah.
make this crystal clear. I'm not making fun of the dude. Frankly, my hat's off to him for doing something, right? He's doing something. It's just he's doing what I would call version one.
Right.
And the purpose of version one is to get to version two. Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free, cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next.
That's right.
And so now I would recommend to the guy, awesome, you've done great. Now let's take that same skill set and let's go elephant hunting instead of gnat hunting, right?
That's
Because
a great perspective.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like, and not that anybody wants to hunt an elephant, right? But you get the idea, that that you got to know what's possible,
Hmm.
and you can't like be open to
Hmm.
be open, be
Hmm.
willing to be willing, and don't, hey, well, I this and that, and don't you tell me, and it's like, oh, dude, I'm open. Somebody that's closing more than my team does a month, I'm all ears.
Right.
I'd be the last person to say, well, I'm doing it right and you're doing it wrong and you're
Right.
crushing me, but you're still doing it wrong and I'm still doing it right. It's like, no, dude, like if Mr. Quicken would entertain the idea of me having lunch with him for an hour, I would love to pick his or her brain,
Right.
right? Because they're spanking me. I'm not even a gnat to that elephant, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
I'm using a different unit of measure. So she would look at me going, dude, Carl, you think you got it going on? No, no, no.
Yeah.
This is
This
what's
is what's
going on.
possible.
This is what
Yeah.
it looks like, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
open to that, right? Teach me how, right? Teach me how. So
Yeah.
anyway, I hope this episode comes off in a good way, but I think who you hang out with, like the groups that you hang out with, is so important. And this is a good
Mhm.
group,
Mhm.
by the way, that I was in. Like it is. It's a great group, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta you know in any Facebook group, you got to be careful who you're asking in there, because you get somebody that's brand new and they say, "Hey, I need some help. What do I
Right.
do?" And they
Right.
have somebody closing 1.5 loans a month saying, "Do this," and likely that's not going to be meaning well, right? Meaning
Right.
well,
Right.
but it's the person asking the question. The first thing they should do is let me look up to see what they're doing before I put any weight whatsoever in their answer.
That's a big deal
And
right there.
that's
Yeah.
a big deal. That's a
Hey,
big deal.
ask the results from doing that. It's interesting because even when somebody was saying, like this example, let's start in social. Hey, tell me about the results you've gotten from that, and let's see them. If the
Yeah.
results are big, let's move. If they're not, I want to steer
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, and again, being very cool about it. But
Yeah.
that's like for me, like if I see somebody riding down the road and their tire is really really low, they're in danger of getting hurt.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna roll my window down, and here I
You
am,
just
some
say,
big old hairy
yeah.
guy. It might be a little old lady or a little old man or a pleasant
Mhm.
man or a pleasant lady or whatever, and they go, "Dude, who's this weird guy? Go away." I'm going to hit
Yeah.
my horn and get their attention because I'm trying to help
Right.
them, and I don't want
Hmm.
them to get hurt. And so I take that risk a lot of times in these groups, and like I mean well, and I'm trying to help. I just don't want them to get hurt. And if I know of a better way, it's not an ego thing or hey, listen to me. It's like, dude, don't listen to me. Listen to Tara. Listen to Caden.
Listen
Right?
to
Listen
the
to Steve.
results. Hmm.
Yeah, here's the results. And you and I, our teams are doing hundreds of loans per month, like hundreds
Hmm.
and hundreds of loans per month. Like we're not Quicken, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm as good as Quicken because I'm not. Like I don't have a candle. But in the scheme of things, we're doing pretty well over here. And
Hmm.
anybody closing 300-400 loans a month, um, it's probably not a bad idea to listen a little bit, like a little
Hmm.
bit, unless you're Quicken, and then totally ignore anything I have to say. Right? That's how it works. Right? And
Yeah.
yeah, and I found the secret. I found the secret to all this stuff is not to, well, this is a good place to start. No, screw that. Let's just start with what the big, like what are the champions? What is Caden doing?
Hmm.
And copy
Hmm.
him. What is
Hmm.
Tara doing? Copy
Hmm.
her. Sarah Cott, what is she doing? Sue Meitner, like Holly Walter, like these behemoths. Like,
Hmm.
what are they doing?
Yeah.
And go ahead on day one and start copying them. Like, as long as
Mhm.
it's something that's copyable. And anyway, I just
That's a good message. It's
yeah,
it's
yeah, you
it's
got to be
good
careful.
timing.
You got to be careful who you're listening to,
Yeah,
and what you're using as a unit of measure, and make sure you're not using a gnat as a unit of measure. Let's go after the elephant. All right,
that's
let's
it.
go
Great,
after. So anyway,
great encouragement. Love it, man. And it's a great reminder. We can be busy or we can be effective. Let's just stay being effective with what actually moves the needle. And then as we hire people and we make more money, we can have teams of people dabbling in some of the other areas. So great
yeah.
conversation.
Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Hey, you know what? Steve and I are doing a new private group with
Hmm.
about 12 to 15 of us. And hey, we'd love to chat with you and share with you what we're doing. If you'd like to
Hmm.
be considered to be a part of this, and would like to for you to consider us being a part of what you're doing, uh, reach out to us. Probably the best way to do that is, I think it's getmoreloans.com. I think is what it is.
Yeah,
Getmoreloans.com. And when you go in there, it'll give you a calendar. Just pick out a time and day that works best for you, and just let them know that, hey, you were listening to the podcast and you're
hmm,
interested in the small private group that Steve and I is going to be doing together. Ask them about that, and then we'll get on the horn and tell you what that's like. And you know, I think we're a pretty good group to hang out with, frankly. Especially in
agreed.
a small group like this. I think think of it like you're sitting at the table of the board of directors. Frankly, they're doing pretty darn good, right? And
Hmm.
I think it'd be would love to chat with you about that. So getmoreloans.com. Tell them you're looking for the 15-person thingy, and they'll set you up with a call and we'll have a chat. So getmoreloans.com. I think that's it. We
That's
cool?
it. We're great. All right,
Appreciate you,
everybody.
brother.
See you.